This is my Reykjavik vlog. Before the vlog begins, can I just apologise instantly about the formatting? Before I knew I wanted to do any kind of travel vlogging, I would film things this way up. And so I'm afraid it's not landscape for YouTube like it's supposed to be. This vlog should tell you everything you need to know about visiting Reykjavik in the winter. This is from a 3-day weekend that I went there. Everything that was filmed in this vlog from when I went is still relevant now, today. But the vlog does not include Blue Lagoon. Why? Buses were cancelled, couldn't get there because of the weather. Bear that in mind for if you are planning on going. Other than that, here's the vlog. I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to be exploring Reykjavik. Okay, so I started out by getting off. This is 9:30 AM. I was wandering around till 10 o'clock. I mean, where the hell is everyone? I mean, this is the capital city. It's still dark. It was rainy, it was windy, and it was just like a ghost town. At this time of year, Iceland only has 6 hours of sunlight. It finally got light around 10:30ish, and then it started to go dark about 4:30ish. But it was weird because it was like the whole place was 2-3 hours behind the rest of the world. This here is the port where they do like whale watching, puffin watching, stuff like that. Unfortunately, none of it functions this time of year either. Then I found a rainbow road. I went walking up the hill, looking at the buildings, shops, whatnot. Then I found this beauty. This is the famous cathedral in Reykjavik. Not even going to try pronounce its name because I'll butcher it, but here it is at night. It's a proud building. These are just people's houses. I got to admit, it's a very pretty place. It's not like other cities. It's just pleasant. Then I stopped off for coffee in this snug little coffee shop, mainly to use free Wi-Fi because my data doesn't work out here. Then I wanted to buy this polar bear for my friend back home because he told me to bring him one back, but I didn't because I can't afford it. I went down to the port to try see the coastline, but the clouds are still a bit low and it's been raining all day. The biggest problem I have with Reykjavik is you see a shop you like, you walk in, and then you come out, and then you can't remember what direction you came, and then you're lost, and then you go that way, and you're like, no, wait, I've been this way. So you turn around and go the other way. One thing I will say about Reykjavik is there's very few chains. The only chain I've seen is Hard Rock Cafe, and I think I saw a Subway, but other than that, there's no Starbucks, no McDonald's. You can go for a cheeky pint at Bastards. Here's a fun fact. I found out the other day that I'm actually 14% Scandinavian, which means I could actually be related to a Norse god, like Thor. I mean, there's a lot of Norse god stuff around here, like Loki's, which is more likely probably named after my dog. And this is the hotel I'm staying at. I have to admit that Reykjavik's definitely one of the most safer places I've felt. There's tourists everywhere. I haven't seen a single police car since I've been here. I've walked around on my own at night in cities like LA, Manchester, Sydney, Phoenix, Arizona. Hell, Phoenix, someone got mugged outside my motel door. I accidentally booked a motel on the roughest street in the state. Whereas downtown Reykjavik, I just feel safe everywhere. I could easily stay out there on my own all night if I had to. I might even go out and take a gypsy shower. Tomorrow I got Golden Circle and hopefully Northern Lights. So see you then. Day 2. People trying to lose weight always take the stairs instead of the elevator. So I started the day at 8:30 by hopping in a taxi to my pickup point for the Golden Circle tour. This building looked nice. Got on the tour. Here's a map of the Reykjavik area. The red represents populated area. And here's Iceland, so you can see how vast and empty the place is. 2/3 of Iceland's population all live just in this red area. Then I went to a volcanic crater. I climbed to the top of the volcanic crater. It takes 200 years for moss to grow on lava, so I wasn't worried about this thing erupting anytime soon. The soil's red because it's rich in iron. And here you can get a really good view of how vast the landscape out here actually is. I mean, there's just nothing out here. Here's another quick view of the crater. There's even a bench down here with people on it. More vast landscape with nothing in it. Here you see some waterfalls. I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's water and it's ice. Apparently there's a lot more water in the summer. This is me not taking a selfie. Apparently Iceland has more glaciers than it has trees. This is my ancestor, Thor. And then we came to see some hot springs and some geysers. Obviously you can't get in them though. This one is bubbling away like a bitch. Still pleasant to look at though. Then we have this geyser right here. I call it Little Faithful because it was nowhere near as big as Old Faithful in Yellowstone. It was erupting every 3 to 6 minutes, so you basically just had a queue of people holding their cameras up. All these people here just not living in the moment, and here, oh wait. Fuck! This woman here makes my day, folks. She was holding up her phone trying to take a selfie with the geyser in the background. As soon as she puts her hand down to take a rest, the geyser goes off. As cool as this place is, it does stink of rotten eggs though. That's just the smell of sulfur from the geothermic activity. And then the sky just kind of started to clear up a little bit more. That's the Eurasian continental plate, and on the right here we have the North American continental plate. So technically right now I'm in North America. Apparently they filmed a scene or two from Game of Thrones here, but I don't know because I never watched that show. I was supposed to be doing the Northern Lights tour last night. It got cancelled because of weather. It's been cancelled again tonight because of weather, and I'm flying home tomorrow, so I'm going to miss that. I'm a bit gutted because that is the one main reason I flew out here to do this, and I'm not going to get to see it. I knew it was a risk before I booked the holiday. I booked it 3 months ago. There was no way of predicting the weather back then. But if you too are planning on seeing the Northern Lights, just know you're going in and you're taking a big risk. You may not see it. People here have told me they saw it last week and the forecast is looking good next week. I just happen to have booked it on the exact few days that it's really cloudy. But I'm only 33, I've still got plenty of years to go see it some other time. Day 3. After checking out my hotel, I had about 3 hours to kill till my bus to the airport arrived. And as you can see, it was blizzarding, it was freezing cold. And I just decided to find a nice little coffee shop I could sit in and use the Wi-Fi in for a while. This lady was stood here for like a minute deciding whether or not to come in, and then she didn't. The weather didn't slow down at all, and all the flights were starting to get cancelled, so I started to panic a bit about getting home. So then I ordered some lobster soup. This was £16, so expensive, but at the end of the day, it was nice. It's proper lobster soup, and it's not like you can find this anywhere back here in the UK. Then I went to get my airport shuttle, which was half an hour late, so I just stood outside, freezing my tits off in the wind. It's not even that cold out here, it's just the wind chill more than anything. Well, hopefully my bus is here in a minute. Hopefully my flight's not cancelled. Then I saw some blue skies, and that gave me a ray of hope that I'd actually get out of here. Look at this weather. Can you imagine this in the UK? Everything will be shut and cancelled. Out here in Iceland, they just shut up and get on with it. Speaking of Iceland, they have Iceland! That's the Atlantic Ocean. The airport for Reykjavik is actually 40 minutes drive out of the city itself, and I could see why people's flights were getting cancelled. I almost got blown over when I walked off the bus. It wasn't just flights though, everybody's tours were also getting cancelled. Then after a few days of lacking nutrition, I decided to get a green smoothie. Maybe this will get rid of the rings under my eyes. My flight ended up being 2.5 hours late, which although that really annoyed me at the time, the other 2 flights to Manchester, one was delayed by 6 hours and the other by 9 hours, so it could have been a lot worse. And as you can see, I did actually finally make it home. Travelling in January, I have to say, it's good because it's depressing to be here in the UK in January, but at the same time, expect delays in everything. My first flight was an hour late, my second flight was 2.5 hours late. All my bus journeys in Iceland were 20 to 30 minutes late. My train from Crewe to Hereford was an hour late, and it's all because of weather. So if you are travelling this time of year, just expect delays on everything. I don't know if I'll go travelling in January again because of it. It just pissed me off too much, but I don't know. As far as Iceland goes, yes, Iceland is very expensive. Take a meal out you'd have here in the UK and basically add £7 to it. That's the kind of price you're looking at for food. I didn't drink while I was out there, but looking at the menus, it was roughly £11 for a beer. So if you do go to Iceland, don't go on a budget. Take plenty of cash, you're going to need it. Especially if your plane's delayed, you're going to be stuck in an airport, you got to feed yourself, get water, etc. Also, you're most likely to stay in downtown Reykjavik, that's the tourist area. I'd say 80% of people there were British, a lot of British people. Don't want to see British people on holiday, don't go to Reykjavik, because they're everywhere. And every time I was sat near a British person, I overheard the conversations. All they did was complain. They just complain about everything. I'd definitely like to explore the south coast, however. Maybe even see volcano or some lava. You can actually see molten lava in the distance on some of the mountains on the plane at night, which I thought was pretty cool. Northern Lights is hit or miss. It's just fucking luck. I went this time of year because it was the least hours of daylight, and I thought, well, that'll be good chances. But it was just cloudy every day and you couldn't see anything. If I were to go back, I think I'd go back maybe October kind of time, just because the Northern Lights are visible from September to April, and I wouldn't want to go in the middle of winter like I just did again. At least in the fall you might get some nicer weather. And be prepared to smell egg. The water out there stinks of egg. Every time you shower, it stinks of egg. Obviously from the sulfur, the island's practically a volcano. However, it is some of the healthiest drinking water in the world because of that. That's really all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed my vlog.